I've invested in a large number of different speculative crypto mining projects, and in this video I'm going to share exactly how I made $3,445 mining crypto in the month of April of 2023. This will include income earned from crypto mining, running crypto nodes, and any interest earned in DeFi. I've also included my monthly expenses such as electric and node hosting expense so we get an accurate picture of my net income for the month. The last few months I've included an ROI or return on investment analysis into the videos in this series. For those aren't familiar, an ROI analysis looks at the current cost of a miner on the secondary market and compares it to the income that generates per month as a percentage of its total cost. This can often be used as a gauge to determine what miners to purchase and whether returns are reasonable. I think this provides the most value to you as the viewer, so I've refreshed this data and I'll be sharing the results with you later in the video. This is month 12 of this earnings review series. This bear market has been quite brutal, with most ASICs becoming unprofitable, many rug pulls, and an overall decline in profitability across almost all projects.
It's been a terrible year.
But pat yourself on the back if you're still here. I truly believe the investments made in this bear market will generate huge returns in the next bull market. I'm not going anywhere, and I hope you don't either.
I'm just not leaving. I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving.
And just to clarify before we get started, I'm not sharing this information with you today to try to brag about how much money I'm making each month or to try to promote a certain project over another for my own personal gain. I'm really just trying to share my crypto mining journey with you, and hopefully you can gain something from any insights I may be able to provide in this video. And as always, remember, nothing in this video is financial advice. With that out of the way, let's get started. Let's start off with a quick historical chart review. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, we now have 12 months of data. So if you look, 12 months revenue came in at $33,400. Total expenses came in at $7,200 for a net income of $26,200. Now, obviously the expenses here don't factor in the initial cost for these miners. So if you factor those in, the profitability is much less. We'll cover the cost of these miners in the ROI analysis later. If we look at the month of April, our total revenue came in at $3,445, total expenses of $895 for a net income of $2,550. Something new for this section that I've added this month are some high-level notes pertaining to each month, whether it be rebates or airdrops or major crypto macro items that occurred, to really try to call out major items that are driving either profitability or unprofitability for the month. So I've called out several items for this month. Number one, the Helium 5G token went live, so I've got some earnings from that. And I also received my Examiner final rebate in the month, so that also generated some higher income for me for the month. And last month, I did receive a FLUX Algorand snapshot claim, so that was really driving the high node revenue that we saw in March, and it's come back down now that we don't have that again here in April. And one other thing to note that's really driving the big increase in miner revenue and miner expenses for the month are my Bitcoin miners finally went live in mid-April this month, so we saw an increase in revenue and expenses associated with that. So next, let's move on to the income by project. So if we scroll down here at the bottom, you can see the totals here match the totals that we just reviewed in the historical charts tab. Before we get started, it does take me several hours to put this information together each month. So if you find this information helpful, I really would appreciate it if you hit that like button. It really does help to promote the video and help support the channel. I've also got several projects that I'm currently testing in the pipeline, so if you'd like more information and like to follow along, consider subscribing as well. So the projects here are sorted from net most profitable to least profitable. We'll start off at the top and I'll give some general commentary over each. The number one project for the month was my Examiner, generating $664 for the month. Now this is largely being driven by the fourth and final rebate for my Examiner. The miner's been online for just over a year now. So $660 of the $664 was related to the rebate. That's a one-time rebate, and I would not expect that rebate to occur in the future. I currently have 874 gigabytes of the space used. That's up almost 10% versus last month. So without the rebate, it only generated about $5 for the month. We also have to keep in mind that the Examiner is still on testnet and they have not gone fully live with the space utilization. So really at this point, we're only using about 1% of the space on the hard drive, and I would expect as space utilization moves up, as the project goes live, that should increase in the future. Our number two project is my Demo data miner. I just did a video on this last week covering some updates with this. This has been a big winner for me the last couple of weeks. As many of you are probably aware, Demo was listed on Coinbase 2 weeks ago. That saw a huge increase in the price of the Demo token, up 310% versus last month. So we have total revenue for the month coming in at $512. If you'd like to check out that video, I'll link that up above and in the description below. I also reached out to Demo and was able to get a referral code that can get you 10% off your order if you're interested in purchasing one. Number 3 project is my Helium Bobcat 500. This is a 5G mining device. The mobile token just went live, I believe, last week. So what I've got listed here is my total coins earned to date, which I believe I installed this back in October of last year. So we're looking at about 9 months of activity here. So this is a one-time catch-up and recognizing that earnings from that token launch. So I also would not expect the total amount of these tokens to be at this level going forward. It should be about 1/9 to 1/10 of this value. Number 4 projects per month are my pre-search nodes. I currently have 97 pre-search nodes. We did see a 20% decrease in the pre-search token price this month. The pre-search token has been quite volatile over the past several months, going anywhere between 6 cents up to 12 cents, and now it's back down to 7 cents. I have 2 new nodes that I added this month, and I currently have 248,000 pre-search staked. Another thing with pre-search, I did see quite the decrease in the coins I earned this month. We're coming in at 6,400 coins. In prior months, I was earning anywhere between 10 to 11,000 tokens. And I think what happened here is pre-search has said in the past in their AMA videos, their CEO has said that a lot of times they'll adjust the pre-search rewards based on the pre-search token to make sure that it's profitable for people. So as the pre-search token has gone up in price, they may have reduced the number of tokens that you're earning for running a node. My number 5 project for the month are my 6 S19 Pro 110 terahash Bitcoin miners. These finally went online on April 15th. I'm having them hosted through BitCap Hosting. I was originally hosting them through Musk Miners, but Musk Miners has had some generator issues. I originally purchased these miners from them back in July of 2022, and I've been waiting ever since for them to get them online, and they've had continuous issues. So Musk Miners agreed to have these transferred to BitCap, so they'll be hosted with BitCap here in the future. They're located up in the state of Washington. These are contracted at 8.5 cents per kilowatt hour electric rate, so it's good to see with the appreciation in the Bitcoin price that these are currently hashing away and are profitable. Number 6 project for the month are my Flux nodes. I have 3 main Flux nodes, which are 2 Nimbus and 1 Stratus, and then I now have 6 Titan nodes. I staked an additional 5,000 Flux on a Titan node this month. That 5,000 Flux was via some airdrops that I received from Flux, as well as some of accumulated earnings that I've received from my Flux nodes. Flux token was relatively flat in price for the month, and I have $120 in expense, and that's through the hosting service that I host with my Flux nodes, and I use Goldie Tech nodes for my hosting of my Flux nodes. Number 7 project for the month are my Step in NFT shoes. This is a move to earn project. I walk every day and I earn about $1.50 a day at this point with my Step in NFT shoes, which came out to about $53 for the month. Now I actively sell the GST that I earn from these every couple days, and I convert it into Solana for a long-term holding. Coming in at number 8 is my HiFix GeoNet Space Weather Station. I did a video on this earlier last month. I'll link that up above in the description below. But essentially what I did is I upgraded my Space Weather Station from 2-band to 3-band, and it doubled my earnings. So now we're earning just under $2 per day with this device now. Coming at number 9 for the month is the Helium Bobcat IoT token that just went live here in April. That came out to $44 for my 5 Bobcat 300 miners. At this point, I'm not sure how substantial this IoT rewards will be going forward. I'll have to do some research on that, and we'll have to see what the earnings will look like going forward for these. Number 10 is my 3 iPolo G1 minis. This is by far right now my most profitable home mini ASIC device. I'm solo mining on all 3 of my iPolo G1 minis. I'm mining Grin. I'm actively selling the tokens every couple weeks and converting this to Bitcoin, but it is nice to see that these iPolo G1 minis are still currently profitable. My expense associated with this is my electric expense at home, which comes in at 12 cents per kilowatt hour. Number 11 project is the Deeper Connect Mini. This is a at-home VPN device. I currently have a credit score of 989, which is earning me max rewards per day, but right now we're earning just a little over $1 per day. I am considering selling out of this project here in the future and trying to cash out my rewards because the token price for Deeper has just been on a steady downtrend for several years now. Number 12 project is element data. This is a reuse for the Wear Element device. I did an initial video on this about 2 months ago, and it was earning 34 bucks a day, which was ridiculous at the time. The earnings have gone down substantially, and now I'm earning just over $1 per day. I just did an update video on that a couple weeks ago. I'll link that up above as well if you want to check that out. But it is nice to see that the token price has stabilized pretty much here, so at least it's not continuing to fall. Number 13 are my Helium Bobcat 300 miners. I have 5 of these. These mine helium. We did see a nice increase in the price of helium for the month, and a 33% increase, but I did see quite a drastic decrease in the amount of H&T that I earned versus March, 44% decrease versus last month. So I don't know what's driving this decrease, whether it's additional hotspots that were added to my area, or if the migration over to the Solana blockchain is impacting the earnings. We'll have to wait and see on that. Coming in at number 14 is my Gold Shell Mini Doge 2. I just got this last month. I have it currently on low hash rate mode, and that's so that it can sustain profitable mining. At full hash rate mode, it's currently not profitable. If you're interested in me doing a video covering the profitability of this miner and comparing to some of the other Gold Shell Mini Doge miners, I'd be happy to put a video together on that. Just let me know in the comments section below. Number 15 is my Gold Shell Starcoin box. This one is still profitable, but it's really being driven by a very low power usage for this device. So a pure speculative miner for me at this point. I'm continuing to accumulate Starcoin tokens. Number 16 is my MAP metrics. This is drive to earn. I don't drive a whole lot, so I didn't earn very much this month, but just earned just over $1. And then 17 is the Block Unlimited Nightlight, only generating $1 for the month. And then here at the bottom here, we have the MatchX M2 Pros. I've actually switched these to a new project. I'll have a video out covering that here in the next couple weeks, hopefully, but there will be no more mining MatchX. I looked and I'd only earned 44 cents mining MXC last month, and that's due to my basically maxing out the amount of MXC that I could mine with these devices. So I'll be very glad to get away from MatchX with the transition to this new project. And then WeatherXM and PiFi are both on testnet. The exciting thing with PiFi is expected to release their token in Q2 of 2023. So hopefully here in the next month or two, it'll be interesting to see what the token value will be when that goes live. And then rounding out the list here at the bottom are various Gold Shell mini box miners. I turned off several of them due to unprofitability, and then I'm keeping several of them on more as speculative mining, even though they're generating a slight loss for me at this point. And then rounding out the list is my FutureBit Apollo Bitcoin miner. This runs unprofitable, but it's cool to run a Bitcoin node, so I keep this on even though it's slightly unprofitable for me. All right, next let's look at the ROI analysis for each project. First, let's start off with the assumptions so we can level set here. First, the miner fair market value estimate that I have here is based on recent comparable miner sales from eBay. These are actual sales that I've seen on eBay over the last month. So that's where I'm getting a lot of these fair market value prices. These are not the costs that I purchased these devices for. My costs for all of them are almost all much higher than the current fair market value for these miners. That's what you get in a bear market, right? Second, the current month net income is my actual mining results less my expenses. Yours may be different if you have different electric rate or different hosting rates. Number 3, this is as of a point in time, May 1st, 2023. Miner value and income amounts will obviously vary over time. And then finally, this is not financial advice, and don't use this ROI analysis as justification to buy a miner or start up a node. So what I did here is I listed each project from highest annual ROI to lowest, and I'll just give some brief commentary over each. And then I did a little rating system here on the far left. Green is what I would consider a very solid project at this point, or at least a high earnings potential. Yellow's middle of the road, and then red is a project I would avoid at this point. My number 1 ROI project at this point is the Demo Data Miner, coming in an ROI of 922%. Now, obviously, this is unsustainable, and it's really being driven by the large appreciation in the Demo token price over the last month. But at a price point of $333, which is the $369 that's listed on the website, plus I can get you a 10% discount on your device using my discount code. It comes in at $333. So it's a low price point for the amount of revenue that is generating at this point. And the fact that there's no ongoing expenses related to this project makes it quite lucrative in my opinion. But who knows how long this will last. But since it's so lucrative, that's why I've listed it as a green at this point. Number 2 are my Stepin NFT shoes. I'm kind of middle of the road on this. The GST token has kind of held steady at 2 cents here over the past several months, but I don't know that there's going to be a long-term appreciation in the price for this project. Number 3, element data. Same case with Stepin. We've seen a decrease in the token price, but it has level setted here over the past several weeks. So it's promising that we may be able to generate some longer returns on this project. So coming in at 123% is still quite lucrative for the element data. Obviously, it's not the $34 a day that we're seeing 2 months ago, but if you can generate a steady income every day, the big issue I have with element data is there is no use case really for the air quality data that it's collecting. So I don't see the long-term potential in that kind of project. Number 4 is my HyFix GeoNet station. I listed this one as green. This is collecting space weather data. I upgraded the triple band, which is coming in at $695 at this point, and you can expect to return your investment in just over a year. Number 5 is a Deeper Connect Mini. I have 75,000 Deeper tokens staked. So at a price point of, I believe the device is $150 plus $550 to stake those tokens. You're looking at a pretty high ROI, but the one thing I haven't done with this project yet is I haven't withdrawn my tokens. So I may be testing that out here shortly, and I may actually get out of this project if we don't see some better price action out of the Deeper token. Number 6 is my iPolo G1 Minis, coming in at a price point currently of $300. I would consider this my best ASIC miner to purchase at this point, and that's because of the low price point and the fact that it's still profitable mining Grin. I've been solo mining Grin for several months now, and it's continued to be profitable for me. Number 7 are my Bitcoin miners, coming in currently at a price point of $3,300. Now this is the price Musk Miners is currently listing them on their pricing sheet. It may be higher or lower depending if you go with a different provider, but then you've also got monthly expenses which can vary based on your contract rates for a provider. Mine is 8.5 cents per kilowatt hour rate, which generates currently a return of 29%. The big thing that I really like about Bitcoin mining is I am a long-term very bullish on Bitcoin. So I'm trying to accumulate as much Bitcoin as possible. And that's why, one of the reasons why I am actively mining Bitcoin. Number 8 and 9 are helium. I know a lot of people are quite salty on helium at this point. You have the 5G device and then the Bobcat 300 HNT devices, both generating about a 20% annual return. I know currently the price point to get into helium mining is pretty low for the Bobcat 300s, coming in at about $100. So if you can find a good location, it still might be quite lucrative to jump into this, especially as a lot of people are trying to unload their devices. Number 10, map metrics. I did a video on this several months ago. This is a very low price point as well for this device. This is drive to earn at $100. That's a very low price point. And if you drive a lot for a living, this may be a good project to jump into. Number 11, the Gold Shell Mini Doge 2. The one thing that concerns me with these mini Doge script miners is we do have the Litecoin halving coming here near the end of 2023. So that'll cut their rewards in half, which will make this device most likely unprofitable unless we see a large appreciation in the Litecoin price. Number 12, Block Unlimited. I would stay away from this project. It's really just a gimmick and it really doesn't generate very good returns. Number 13 are my pre-search nodes. I have these listed as green. Yeah, it doesn't generate a huge ROI, but really I am speculating on pre-search for a long-term price potential in this coin. And the other thing you have to keep in mind is the amount that you're staking in nodes. You don't actually lose this. You can actually unstake and withdraw your tokens and sell them at any time if you so choose. So it's not like you're locked in at this point. Number 14, the Gold Shell Starcoin box. The price point for this is quite high for the earnings that it generates, but this is really just a speculative miner for me at this point. Number 15 are my FLUX nodes. Once again, this doesn't generate a very high ROI, but same thing with pre-search. You're not locked in for the long term. You don't lose the value of your tokens when you stake them in a node, and you can unstake and shut down your node at any time. And similar to pre-search, I'm really speculating on FLUX for the long term. So in the next bull market, hopefully we see a much higher FLUX price. And the number 16 is the EXA miner. This has a quite high price point, and it really doesn't generate very much return at this point. But this is also still on testnet, and I think there is potential where we could see this device becoming more profitable in the future. But at this point, it's still unproven. And then here at the bottom, I have all these projects, these gold shell mini box miners. They're all currently unprofitable. I would not recommend getting into them. There's new miners that are coming out each day. I know the Handshake algorithm just had a halving last week. So I know Gold Shell is putting on deals to try to unload these. So I personally would not be buying a lot of these unprofitable mini box miners. My personal strategy for these is I'm waiting for the next bull market, and hopefully I can unload a lot of these devices to people wanting to get into mini box mining in the next bull market. Or maybe I'll just hold them forever until they're worthless. We'll see. So if we go here to the bottom, you can see the current fair market value of all my devices is currently $107,000, which is a pretty penny. And you have to think that the amount that I paid for these devices was actually considerably higher, which may be a little disconcerting for me that the value of almost all my devices are substantially lower than I purchased them. But timing is everything when you get into any investment, or especially into mining. I want to provide you as much value as possible in these videos. So if you have any topics or projects you want me to cover in further detail, or if you just have any general questions or comments, don't hesitate to ask me in the comment section below. I always make it a point to answer everyone's comments, whether positive or negative. If you found this video helpful, consider subscribing. Check out one of my other videos over here. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.